What's up, everybody? It's Bootman, and I am back. And we need to talk about a couple things. I was gonna make a video asking, is Marvel Rivals dying? Spoiler alert, it's not. And then I was gonna discuss this brand new controversy going around with these Chrono Shield cards. And I was like, you know what? There's kind of a topic that needs to be put together. So that's what we're gonna be discussing today. We're gonna be discussing this new Chrono Shield card that everybody's up in arms about, but there's also been this really ongoing conversation about the game dying, and I'm going to explain to you why that's not the case and why it's really, really silly for people to be saying that. So the conversation about the game dying, it's been going on for a little while now since, the peak of Marvel Rivals. Anytime anybody personally gets upset with a game, it's their go-to. Your boy, he's a little bit older. I've been around the block a few times, and let me tell you, I cannot tell you how many times people love saying that a live service game is dying because they are personally dissatisfied with it. Despite all of the facts, data, evidence out there, they will say, you know what? I personally don't like the game, and I know this one guy who doesn't like the game, therefore, game is dying. And it's a little bit ridiculous. So let's talk about these Chrono Shield cards. So the other day, I believe, Marvel Rivals announced that they're celebrating 1 year since like the alpha launch, and they are going to be doing an event, and it's this Galacta's gift, and it's actually pretty cool. So they released this trailer, and yeah, there's some cool stuff that is going to be in it. One of them is a costume coin, so that's pretty exciting. I think that's one of the coolest things. Like they did it not too long ago with that Venom twerking bundle thing, where it's like $3, but you got a costume coin. This one is brand new, not brand new, it's free. And yeah, basically you play and you can get a free costume from one of like the launch costumes. It kind of sucks because I bought a lot of them, but there's a few I'm still missing. So yeah, you play a bit and you can get a costume coin, but that's not what people are upset about. People are upset about this thing right here called the Chrono Shield card. So this thing says that you can activate the Chrono Shield to prevent point loss in competitive. Okay, now people are a little bit upset about this. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I really wish that people would kind of empathize a little bit with devs and the situation they're in, because you can't make everybody happy. So when I first saw this, I was like, oh, people are gonna be stoked. People are gonna be excited about this, because one thing that you constantly see is people complaining, just constantly complaining, saying, look, I am doing so good in these matches. I am carrying, I'm getting an amazing amount of kills, and people love tweeting out their stats or sharing them on Reddit and saying, look at my loss streak, but look at me. I am carrying the team and I'm still losing. This isn't fair. Oh my God, I'm doing my job. So I was like, oh, okay, people are gonna be a little bit excited about this, that they're getting something that can prevent the dropping of rank if they have one of those games where they're with a bunch of teammates who aren't pulling their own weight. But no, that's not the case. Now people are like, no, 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 this is not what I want. And listen, like, I try to put myself in everybody's shoes to understand their arguments, and like, I get it, I get it. Like, there are issues with ranked matchmaking. I made a video on it, like right before, I took my little break. I made a video discussing how ranked matchmaking is still, and the point system is still a little bit off. They did do an update, and I've been meaning to get together some data and put something together, because I do think the point system is a lot better since they did that update. I play a lot of strategists and it seems to be working. But anyways, people are upset about these Chrono Shield cards. So, I immediately thought it was a good thing, but then I started seeing tweets like this. So this is Boger, one of the top Marvel Rivals creators, and he's like, are they kidding me? Pay to win mechanics to the game? If so, I am extremely disappointed. Now, mind you, this was all like immediately. This was all very soon after this announcement went up. All right, so we didn't have all the information. I think at first glance, a lot of us assumed that these Chrono Shield cards would be available for all ranks, and so I understand the initial kind of freak out about it. All right. So then, we saw SK, another one of the top creators. I'm sorry, what? You can pay money to activate a card that makes you not lose points in a competitive game mode? Please, Marvel Rivals, you hurt me so much. All right. So also, notice here, there's a limit of 20 on these, which is interesting because in the actual video, they have 2 rewards for this and you get 4 apiece. So there's 8. but it says you can have a limit of 20. So a lot of us are wondering, well, how do you get 20? So people are wondering if you're going to be able to buy them. I believe Danny from the head dev for Marvel Rivals said like you cannot purchase these. So that's a little bit different. You get them for free, but I am curious why it says limit 20. And then Flash says there ain't no way y'all put a way to pay money to not lose points in a competitive loss with a limit of 20. LMFAO, guys, what are you doing? All right. So not long after that, I think the Marvel Rivals devs realized everybody was freaking out. They said, hey, Rivals, both Chrono Shield tokens from ranked matches and Chrono Shield cards from events will not be for sale and are only usable for gold rank and below. The purpose is to allow lower ranked players to enter ranked mode with even less pressure through this mechanism. All right, so let's talk. Let's talk real quick. So we have confirmation that this is only for bronze through gold rank. Is that a big deal? No. No, it is not, okay? These lower ranks, they are a hot mess, and I don't care what you do or what you want to say, they're a hot mess. Like people have been throwing out all sorts of reasons why this is a bad idea. One of the things that people are saying is that, oh, you know how many people are gonna throw their matches? They're just gonna be like, oh, well, you know what? I have these Chrono Shield cards, so I can just throw my match. I got 20 of these, so I'm just gonna throw it, and they ruin the experience for everybody. Listen, if you've played in bronze through gold, hell, like even like platinum and diamond, if you even look at somebody funny on your team, they'll say, whatever I'm throwing, they're like, oh, this is my alt account, bro, I don't care. So like, it's a little bit silly to me to say that these Chrono Shield cards are gonna promote griefing in the game. Like, no, you guys, you've met Marvel Rivals players. A lot of them grieve already. This is not going to change all that much. But if we're being honest, like there have been discussions around like rank inflation, how many people are making it to Grandmaster and all of that. But like, check it out. Like for me personally, I don't think the real competitiveness of this mode like starts until like kind of around Diamond-ish, you know? So people, you know, having these free losses in bronze to gold, like it's whatever. It's whatever, it is not a big deal. People just love freaking out about stuff. But what inspired me to finally, you know, turn on my recording software and make this video is I actually went and saw Flats made a video just freaking out about this. Before all of the information was out, he made his video right before, and listen, I love Flats. I watch so much Flats. I think he has, you know, really good takes, but at a certain point, I do think that he does kind of feed into some of the drama that's going on in the community, and it's like, all right, hey, let's all take a breath. Let's all take a breath. But something that Flats, and it's not limited to Flats, but he is one of the bigger voices in the community saying this, but something he mentioned in the video is how Marvel Rivals is just losing its player base, like it is just bleeding players. And listen, while it's true, it is nothing to be concerned about, all right? I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. And again, it's not just limited to Flats. I see this on Twitter, I see this on Reddit, even on TikTok. I post some TikToks just with like updates and everything. And people are like, oh, you're making videos for like a dying game, and I'm just like, oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. So one of the things is that Overwatch has recently made like an insane comeback, Like Overwatch has made such a comeback. Like I used to play that game and a ton when it came out, like when, like 2016, and I just haven't played it in for years. But they just did some updates to the regular modes, like adding perk systems, but they just released something called Stadium mode, and I have been obsessed. Me and my buddy have been obsessed. Now I'm splitting my time between Marvel Rivals and Stadium mode. Those of you who don't know what Stadium mode is in Overwatch, it's kind of like Deadlock-ish, but not as in-depth. But yeah, basically you can build out your character. You can build it out with different abilities and perks and items, or not items, but just, yeah, it's like powers and abilities, and it's best of 7, but it brings like a new mechanic to the game. It makes the strategy a little bit different, and I'm a big MOBA fan, so this is just something that I'm interested in. Before Marvel Rivals, I used to play a ton of Deadlock, so yeah, it's something I've been obsessed with in Overwatch. So as Overwatch started making this comeback, like I don't have the exact numbers for them, like you can check on Steam, but it's hard to get the exact numbers because people like myself, we play through the Blizzard client, but anyways, they've made a massive comeback, and this is sparked even more people saying that Marvel Rivals is dying. So let's take a look at the numbers. So looking at this graph here, all right, looking at this graph for Marvel Rivals, seeing where it started, all right, and where it's down, like something that Flask keeps talking about is how they've lost over 50% of their player base, like from their peak. So their peak was actually right when the new season started. For season, what was it, season one, the Dracula season. All right, when they released two heroes, they released Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. All right, and since then, it's going down, and you can pretty much just see whenever new characters release, that's when we see spikes, but it's going down. But the thing you have to understand is that it is very normal. It is very normal for games to hit their peak in the early months of the game and then kind of level out. But the one thing I want to tell you guys, the one thing, my main argument here before you leave is that there have been so many games over the years, okay? And Marvel Rivals is the only one, the only newer game in recent years that has been able to consistently stay in the top 10 on Steam charts. Every single day, Rivals peak player count puts it within the top 10, and even like actively playing, it is sitting in the top 10. I challenge you in the comment section to tell me what games from even the last year, the last 2 years even, that have been able to consistently stay in the top 10. And don't worry, I'll wait for you. Take your time, do your research. You're not gonna find it. You're not going to find it, okay? I have been a part of so many just dead games. I played a ton of multiverses, if you know what that is. And like, these are games where they're dwindling down to like less than like 5,000, less than 10,000 players. That's when games start getting in trouble. Like, here's a game that I actually enjoyed a little bit of. It's just, there's too many games to play. I don't have enough time. But this game called Fragpunk. So like this game right here, all right, all-time peak, it just recently released like back in March, all-time peak 100,000. This is a game that's in trouble, all right? Do you see that 24-hour peak, 7,900 players? That's a game that's in trouble, all right? It is hard to keep a studio going, a team of developers going when you have this many players. That is not really enough players who are putting money into the game to keep a live service game going. That's a game that's in trouble. Marvel Rivals, on the other hand, it is still sitting in the hundreds of thousands. Now, also, Marvel Rivals has said that starting in season 3, they're gonna be releasing a new hero every month. But Marvel Rivals is fine. Like, just for an example, Dota 2, this is another game that I used to play a ton of, a MOBA. And as you could see, like it goes up, kind of levels off, and it starts falling down. Now, like, looking at the max, like, so it's Dota 2 still has insane numbers. Dota 2 and Counter-Strike both have insane numbers. But like, if we're talking about losing a significant chunk of your player base, like, okay, like this is down 50%, but would anybody say that it's going away? Like, it is not going to be around anymore? Like, think about any business, right? If a business was making, it had their first year and they made $5 billion, which is an insane amount of money, right? And then the hype of that business died down. Now it's just the regular customers, and it started making $2 billion. That is an insane amount of money, and it's still outperforming most of the businesses out there. And that's what Marvel Rivals is. Even though the Marvel Rivals player numbers have gone down, it is still outperforming most of the other games right now. All right, so just lastly, let's just take a look at the top 10. So Marvel Rivals isn't sitting here just like right this second because I'm recording this at 7 in the morning. But again, I would say one of the last games that's even been like close is like Apex Legends. Then you have like a game like Valorant, right? But think about like when these games came out. Like when did Apex Legends launch? So Apex Legends, Jesus, it's coming up on a 6-year-old game. So like I said, find me games within the last 2-3 years that have been consistently in the top 10. Marvel Rivals, you check this in the afternoon, it's gonna be sitting right up here. But look at this. None of these, PUBG, right? That game's been out for years now. And a lot of these games that are sitting here, like, they're not going to be here much longer. Like some of these are, single player games that will, eventually die down. Helldivers, okay, Helldivers is one that you could probably argue. You could probably argue that Helldivers is pretty decent, but Helldivers being one of the most popular games too, look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Wait, how long can I do this? 1 year, maybe? Max. So look at that. Look at that drop. Look at that drop from 450,000 to less than 100,000. Like that is an insane drop off. But Helldivers is still moving strong. Anyways, I'm ranting like way too long. I just want people to understand how ridiculous this is. Something that just really bothers me in this day and age when there's so much misinformation coming out is that so many people put out their opinions out there like based on their feelings. And listen, everybody's entitled to their opinions. But when we have actual data staring at us in the face, when it's 2 clicks away, like again, I don't want to pick on Flash, but I'm looking at his stream, his recording, and he has 5,000 tabs opened at the top, and like he goes to the Steam charts, but he's not like comparing it to other games and like, I don't know, he's such a smart, rational dude, but I do think that he and many others suffer from confirmation bias. He wants to believe that this game is like going downhill and they're losing a lot of players and it's not gonna be around too much more, but like, I don't think there's too much panic going on at NetEase because they are still outperforming so many other games. Anyways, I made this video way too long. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I've just had like really busy personal life lately with like work and the sun and everything like that. Not the sun like, the star, but my son. So I've been super busy. I have like a bunch of videos that I'm planning on making, so make sure you stick around, all right? Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.